Good morning, everybody. Sean here from the Trusted Business Community Association, and today I am actually being interviewing one of our most awarded and most decorated members. She is a multiple award winner here at the association. Her name is Carolyn Hobbs, and she runs Carolyn's Card Box. Now, Carolyn, over the years, has been involved in retail sales and card sales for many, many years. First working with Phoenix Trading and then a Flamingo Papery. And with them closing down at sort of around May time this year, Carolyn has basically become the next phoenix out of the flame and has launched Carolyn's Card Box all on its own. Although Carolyn's Card Box has always been there in the background, she is now a standalone trader. And it gives me great pleasure, Carolyn, to welcome you to this interview today.
Thank
How
you
are
very
you?
much, Sean.
You good?
Yes, thank you. Yes, you?
Excellent. Yeah, very, very well, thank you.
Good.
So, Carolyn, obviously everyone out there listening is going to want to know a little bit more about who you are, what you do. So, perhaps you could give us a little bit of an overview of how you and your business helped not only consumers out there to servicing with cards like greeting cards, birthday cards, etc., but also how the businesses and those business owners out there can also benefit from your services.
Well, everybody needs cards to start with. So you can be a business, you can be a multi-million pound business, or you can be an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, or a resident in a house. Everybody needs cards and everybody loves receiving them. That's just to start. And then to help business owners, I think it's important to go back to old-fashioned values, whereby you send a card, handwritten, not printed, handwritten, a handwritten envelope. The card's been selected to suit the person that it's being sent to, and then the recipient enjoys receiving that card. That, in a nutshell, is what it's all about. So business owners sending cards to clients, because the clients aren't going to be expecting a birthday card to be coming through the post box or the letterbox or whatever it might be, from their accountant perhaps, or their estate agent, or whoever it might be. They're not expecting it, and so it's a unique selling point as for a business. It's a bit of soft PR.
It's a huge impact, I would imagine, as well,
Yeah.
obviously, for the recipient, because obviously they're going to get they get a card through that they're not expecting. So the impact on them and that personal level, that personal touch, means that business is actually thinking of them on that
Yeah.
on their special day, whatever that day may be.
Yes, it could be a birthday or work anniversary, or maybe just a thank you card. It doesn't matter what it is, and you can also have that memory if the business owner or the private resident, whoever it might be, likes the card so much that the memory goes on the wall in a frame. That's the ultimate, isn't it? That's what you think of the card. If you don't think of it that much, then you wouldn't do that. But more often than not, I've heard a lot of people saying, such a fabulous card, I'm going to stick it on the wall.
I
It's
often
really lovely.
see, I often see, and have done in hospitals and things like that, where departments have received cards for looking after their loved ones whilst they were in hospital, and or the person who's been treated in hospital has sent
Yeah.
a thank you card in. So it does have a massive impact, and I think it's for the business, for the owner, and or the team having that recognition that they've done a fabulous job in some way, shape, or form. If it is a thank you card.
Mm.
Really does sort of stimulate that personal feeling of satisfaction, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it does. Albeit, let's face it, it's a picture on a bit of card that's folded with some words in it. That's in a nutshell what a card is, but it's the meaning behind all that. Yeah,
Huge.
yeah.
It's absolutely
It is
huge.
huge. Yeah.
What can you tell us a little bit about this? Because you also offer a card writing service for business owners, don't you?
I do.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, indeed. So as a sort of it was a sideline before the inevitable happened with with Flamingo, sadly. So I was doing that on the side, and then I switched it around and now promote the service. So I discuss with business owners what they would like, whether it's just cards to men or a mixture of men and women within the client base. We decide, or they decide, what design they would like sent. And then I would order those cards in. They would send me a list of the clients, their name, their address, the birth date, and the month. Year doesn't matter. And then it would be down to me to write on each card what the business owner has sent me to write in the card. If they want something extra added into that, then I would ask them for those words. I will never ad lib. It's not my place to ad lib. And then the card would be sent a week before the date that's required. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, that the post office delivers it on time. But that, in a nutshell, is really the service. So it could be a birthday card, a work anniversary card, it could be a thank you card. You know, it's very easy.
It is, and I just again, it's if you are a busy business owner. Now, I know we all get wrapped up in our working life, don't we? And we all get very busy, and there's always lots of things to do. And then it comes to the day you think, oh no, I should have sent them a card. Oh, it's too late now. Whereas if they can maybe diarise something, that instead of them having to write it out and think about the word, well, they're going to have to think about the words, obviously, but rather than them having to do it, they can just come to you and say, Carolyn, I've got this person I'd like to just send a thank you or a happy anniversary, work anniversary card to, or personal anniversary card to. They're one of my clients. This is the words I'd like to use. Can you organise that for me? And that is done, and a week before the anniversary date, it's there. So it arrives before time, and hopefully, as we say, fingers crossed, because we never know what's going on out there.
No.
But a week in advance gives it plenty of opportunity to arrive at the time it's that it's due to be opened, doesn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, no, great idea. And I've been on the personal end of receiving those thank you cards that you've wrote out especially for somebody else that have sent me a thank you or a supportive card to say, you know, we're right behind you. I think of Crazy David Penny, who sent a lovely gift through for my Walk of Hope back in March last year, and you were involved in getting that card organised and sent over because he's over in Lanzarote. So it's, you know, chances you definitely need more than seven working days to get a card maybe from abroad, don't you? So you know what it's like when we get postcards from abroad. They always arrive after you've got back. Yeah, that's right. So it's a real useful international service to make sure that people who are trying to reach in from outside of the UK to get those cards in on time. You offer a phenomenal on time service by just making sure that the cards that they choose for that you're going to send for on their behalf are going to arrive on time, and I think that's great. I really do. I mean, I also have bought cards from you, and I can honestly say that the impact of what you're saying really does hit home, because I used one of the cards. There's a couple who run one of our local pubs here, you know, where we had our get together at the summer get together at. Now the two Joes, they're two lovely ladies that run the pub. The pub is called the Trafalgar. It's on Main Street in Harwich, Main Street, Upper Dovercourt, Harwich, and the pair of them lost somebody very dear to them within the same week, pretty much. So I wrote a card to both of them, as they're married, and I wrote a card to both of them and just put my words in there saying, you know, as you do, you know, sorry for what you've gone through, and we're here, our biggest and we're here if you need us. Now, when I handed that card in at the public house, the two Joes weren't working that day. They had their staff on, and the staff got passed. The staff passed that card on, and I hadn't seen them until the following time I went in there, which was probably about 3 or 4 days later, and it was on I think it was a Friday or Saturday evening. And I popped in there, and one of the Joes was working behind the bar, and she literally came round from the other side of the bar and gave me the biggest hug. And she's saying, "Thank you so much for that card. And that was so lovely." But it just goes to show if the impact it has on people, knowing that you're thinking of them and that you care. And I didn't do it for the impact. I did it to show that I cared, because they're two lovely, lovely ladies. And but the response really rammed home just how important the service that you're providing is offering to those on the receiving end of the cards that are given out by either individuals on a consumer basis, or whether it's given out to a business. And I think that really did show the impact of what your message is, and how it come. You're obviously getting that message out to people, but the impact. I've been on the receiving end of that impact. And lovely hugs, and so they were so thankful for it, and just to see them realise that they've got people around them that really do care, I think is a real big message. And it can be put in, as you say, in that little piece of card that's folded in half with your own words in it and a lovely picture on the front. Tell us a little bit more about where you source the cards, because that's really important, because I know everyone's talking about a greener world, a greener environment. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I've looked into several companies in the UK and chosen there's a couple, and so they're eco-friendly, they're biodegradable. So the glitter would be vegetable matter. The colour is created from vegetable matter. So all the particular colours that they have is, that got special things at the printers, I'm presuming, to sort all that out. The foil that's used on some cards is also biodegradable. So all in all, the whole card can be just put into, probably could go in the compost.
Right.
So it biodegrades down. Some cards, not the ones that I sourced, but I would like to be able to source some cards that have got seeds in them, so you can actually plant the card and you will get flowers, whatever flower might be in the card, and that will be another memory. So you've got some flowers in the garden. So I'm looking into that as well. But I also do card sourcing as well. So as well as the card writing, I source cards for, say, mortgage brokers or estate agents. So when they have somebody that has a new home through the work they've done as a mortgage broker or an estate agent, they can just pop their new homeowner a special card to say, "Welcome to your new home." So that's a service I also offer. So that service, I wouldn't write the card, they would, because I don't know when they're going to have a client that's got a new home. So but yes, every single card is biodegradable and all produced in the UK.
Awesome. And those cards with seeds in them would work really nice for a new home card, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it would. It would. Yes.
Plant a plant in your new garden.
In your garden. Yes.
Yeah, I think that would work really well.
Yeah.
Carolyn, thanks obviously much for joining us. But before we wrap up here, I obviously want to make sure that people know where they can find you, because it is important that people understand exactly what you do, how they can get hold of you, because anyone who's listening to this conversation today and this interview today will, I'm sure, be intrigued to find out more. So Carolyn, over to you for where to find us.
Right. So for the business fraternity, I'm on LinkedIn, which is a business platform, and then I'm on Facebook with my Carolyn's Cardbox logo. So that's a business page there, and I'm also on Instagram. So anybody can contact me on any of those mediums.
And of course, you can also find Carolyn in the directory, where you can also have, if she's showing online, if she's showing that she's available online, you can also have a video conference call with her there and then to ask her more questions. But obviously make sure that the green light is on if you're going to try and do that. Or you can also, if it's not, you can always book in her calendar or message her or email her to ask her those questions if she's not showing online. Carolyn, it's been a pleasure having this interview with you. You are an award-winning member of this association. As I mentioned, you are a multiple award-winning member of this association, and that is a good sign for anybody reaching in to Carolyn to know that she's accredited. She's recommended and endorsed by us, and she's coveted by that badge of trust. So please feel free to reach out to Carolyn and ask her any questions that you feel that you need to ask her, having seen this interview. Carolyn, once again, thank you so much for your time this morning, and I look forward to seeing your success over the years to come.
Thank you very much, Sean.